everybody, and welcome back to Pick and Roll. We're out here for a brand new week of NBA betting powered by the Hammer Betting Network. Thank you so much to all the new subs that came in over the weekend. We're over 900 subs, and just a little bit in the future, we have 1,000 subs on the way. So if you guys have been supporting the show, enjoying the show, hit that subscribe button to catch all the episodes, and drop a like on this particular episode to help us find some of those new viewers as well. But as always, we appreciate the support, and it was great to get that support on a weekend where we were celebrating a 3-0 sweep on the Friday slate. We were hoping to get bet win 100 of the season from Pips' picks. So we got win 100, 101, and 102. 3 wins. All of these were also very minimal sweat. Didn't have to worry much about the Levine Booker bet. Giddey comfortably over this line, and Rudy Gobert really crushes his rebound line. And the pick and roll show up to plus 13.7 units, 6.6% ROI, and the 102 wins is accompanied by only 77 losses. So let's go to Pips. It's been a few days since we saw these bets, but overall, I mean, sweat free. I don't think there's really much to discuss here.
Yeah, it was like one of the easiest 3-0 sweats we had. Yeah, everything went like expected. Most of them cashed in the third quarter and early in the third. So love it, and finally had a great week, and yeah, I hope it continues for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was already a winning week before we got to the Friday, and Friday just added on to that. So it was great to see that, and great to see the new support on the channel as well. For today, it is a bit of a smaller slate, but only one official play coming your way for you guys, and we're going to really dial in on this one. And then further along the show, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to go through some of the weird trends we've seen from the betting that Pips has done this season, on the picks that Pips has given out. Some have done really, really well with teams involved. Some have not done so well with teams involved. And then we're going to talk about yesterday's incredible matchup between the Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. That was an absolute thriller of a game if you managed to catch that. But let's get into the official pick for the show for today. And we are going with a player we have gone to a lot this season. We'll talk about that in just a second here. But we're going with Buddy Hield. Just a simple one on the points line. Over 14.5 points. And he's taking on the 76ers today. So, Pips, why do you like this one so much? By the way, this is minus 115 at DraftKings. But Pips, why do you like this one so much?
It's like he had some tough matchups lately, so he had hit like over the last 10 games he hit the over only in 5, but there was some like very tough matchups like Phoenix Suns. He had like Orlando Magic with Gary Harris coverage, and then Dallas Mavericks that allow the least threes in the league, and he's a great 3-point shooter. And then again, two nights ago, he was covered by Caruso and Beverly. So it was a couple of difficult matchups in a row, and he had struggles. So his line dropped. But if you take a look on the season, on the graph for the season results, this graph shows Buddy Hield when he gets 25 or more minutes. And as you can see, he cleared this in 79% of the games. Wow. And he is projected to play 32 minutes tonight. And with Tyrese Maxey starting for the 76ers, they allow 130 points in both of the last two games. The defense is way worse with Tyrese Maxey starting, and they play at a bit quicker pace. So with Pacers already playing quick pace, she should be in a great spot to clear this line. Also, Joel Embiid is playing in a drop zone as the big, and that's allow pull-up shooters to shoot, and Buddy Hield will have plenty of it coming from the screen. Whoever guards him, like he can get guarded by Tobias Harris, great matchup. Tyrese Maxey, great matchup. James Harden, excellent matchup. So like whoever guards him plus Embiid in a zone, I think this should be an easy spot for Hill to to go over this line, especially if you look at the data, like 79% clearing this on minus 115. Like implied odds should be minus 350. You take a look at the implied data for 79% win rate on this line. So I like it, and yeah, I will be like a little bit more concerned if Melton was starting on him, and that will be probably a skip. But with Melton going with Tyrese Maxey starting, just Grayson Allen scored 20 points a couple of days ago, scored 8 threes. Like I love it. Like for 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 Hill, and yeah, lately there are some guys for the Pacers that are starting and getting more minutes, but they are in a spot to win, and they need Buddy Hield on top of his game to win this game. And they played twice against the 76ers this season. First game, it was a blowout win by the Sixers, and Embiid played in that game, and Hield scored 18 points in 28 minutes. Second one was a game without Embiid, and Buddy Hield scored 24 points. So two games against the 76ers, one without Embiid, and without him, no matter if Embiid there or not, he scored 18 and 24. So everything works for this bet, and yeah, we should just love it.
I mean, short and sweet for Buddy Hield. You spoke about the matchups maybe not going his way lately, but this is a very good matchup for him and just something that's not been accounted for. Since this one's been given out, it has moved off DK, still available at MGM at the same price, still available at 365 at the same price, and should be at Pinnacle for 1 cent off this. So a widely available prop here for you guys to take, even if DraftKings has been nuked, as it said in the chat there. But I love this spot for Buddy Hield. And with that, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that has gone well for us this season with the show from a betting perspective, and some of the stuff that has not gone well. And in the theme of Buddy Hield, we can start with him here. Promise you that with all of this data, Pips pulled up this weekend. So hopefully no jinx on this one, but we'll see. Obviously, they don't factor into each other, but would be a little bit coincidental. But pick and roll bets with Buddy Hield this season, well, they're actually 2-4. So for some reason, the Buddy Hield bets aren't winning. Buddy Hield in his half of the same game parlay, though, is 6 out of 6 with the over 2.5 3-pointer line. So when Pips brought this to me, my immediate reaction was, okay, well, Pips, the 2.5 threes for Buddy Hield, 3+ threes, it's going to be the lower odds, as in like the more likely to happen, like the minus 400, 500. But it's actually 3 and 3. So 3 times that has been the case. 3 times he has been like the main part of the same game parlay, which brings up the odds to what Pips wants to give out for the bet. But that's not the case. 3 and 3 there, 2 and 4. I guess that's why you've liked Buddy Hield this season. Have we also, Pips? You remember? Have you also given out one with Buddy Hield on points before? Now that we talk about it, I feel like there may have been one like that. But Buddy Hield, what I guess question on that, and why you're such a fan of his with the betting. I mean, it's clear to see here, but what has made you like Buddy Hield from a betting perspective?
Yeah, there are some teams in the league that defend a certain way that suits great Buddy Hield shooting. Teams that usually has the screens or overhelp or leave the corners wide open. And like I can name just a few. It's Miami Heat, it's usually Chicago Bulls, and it's Toronto Raptors. It's a lot of teams that overhelp on the nail or that blitz hedge the screens and tag the roller. So that opens up the scoring, and also teams that don't have great point of attack defender or like great off-ball defender or chaser for Buddy Hield, and they play drop coverage. So there are like some perfect spots for the Buddy Hield to score threes, and we always pick him, and he did his part. And the other one was mostly Tyrese Halliburton assists combined it, and he came short like a couple of times. And yeah, just unfortunate with the pairing, but Hield was our guy like this season with 6. So and hope he can improve even better.
Let's go to some other of these trends here. So I probably don't need to tell you guys about Tyler Hero, but bets with Tyler Hero are unfortunately 0-5 this season. I think everybody, if you watch this show, you are well aware of the ongoing streak with Tyler Hero. But it's not all bad. There are some very good things as well that have come up here. Pip's obviously a Rockets fan, knows a lot about the Rockets, knows a lot about the matchups there, and it kind of proves a little bit here in a decent sample size. I mean, you'd need a much bigger one for full investigation. But with bets involving the Houston Rockets, 16 of them, it's 14-2. 14 wins on the Houston Rockets out of 16. Pips, I guess this is just a testament to you watch the Rockets, you like the Rockets, and you know them very well.
Yeah. I wanted to say like this is some like part of it being like someone said like betting only numbers, but you can when you know the team, you can get inside knowledge and beat the bookies like easier. And when we talk about it, my inside knowledge for one team that you have huge inside knowledge doesn't work like
Yes.
so I don't know everyone knows, but I am betting in my private group, and my record for the Raptors is like unbelievably terrible. Like,
I remember the number. Do you want to share the number?
yeah. So with last,
I think you told me 10 out of 30 have been winners with the Raptors involved. So 10-20 record.
Well, I'm 10-20 with the Raptors. So like not only the Raptors players, but betting on the Raptors game, like against the Raptors or on the Raptors.
Yes.
And I think my winners were like also very sweaty. I remember the money line for the Nets when Kyrie hit that three in the like last possession, and so many stuff like that.
Yeah.
In short, but also every loss is like close one. Brunson overtime under hitting and stuff like. So I had Brunson under, and he stayed under in the regular time. It went to the overtime. And so many things that like going terrible against me when I bet on the Raptors. And there is actually a reason for that, because Nick Nurse likes to try different things, like rotation is not sure, minutes are not certain, you don't know the coverage. Like not only he changes it game to game, he changes it like in game.
Sometimes possession to possession he changes it. It's always changing.
The offense is like non-existent. Like sorry man, but like I'll like if they had some sets, you know how they are playing against some teams, you can exploit that knowing how their team will defend. But with Raptors, like you can get entire quarter of basketball and not see one single pick and roll being played with like ball handler and like it's difficult. And actually, over the last couple of games, I watched the Fred VanVleet and Jacob playing pick and roll, and I think it produced some amazing efficiency. Every time they played it came good out of it, and they need to do it more. And also I'll say not playing Jacob in the fourth quarter and stuff. Like okay, they won against the Wizards, but they had some luck down the stretch. And I think Jacob needed to be on the court, and I think he's now the most important player for you guys. Like, especially on defense, like it's completely new the dimension of defense. You don't need to play like over helping on every possession. You can mix on drop coverage. You can mix everything, and I think he's been a bit misused. And like I get it. Like playing Siakam at 5 works in certain situations, but that's not like the only way to close the games.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Hurdle's net rating with the Raptors here, just because I know it's been ridiculous. Oh, his plus minus in 9 games with the Raptors is plus 41. So a very big testament to the Raptors having success with him on the court for his defense and also on offense, just the pick and roll partnerships, the offensive rebounding, the scoring. He scored. He had some crazy point games as well.
I think his pick and roll scoring is very underrated.
Yeah.
Like when you just like pocket pass to him or like get him the ball, he is actually. I was surprised in a couple of games. Like he is very good, like a very good finisher, moving very like he control like some like Euro stepping around the guard and around the big ends, like left hand, right hand scoring layup. Like I was surprised with Puelto on offense, but yeah, I lost a couple of bets. I lost 3 in a row bets on Puelto with him not playing in the fourth quarter or playing like 10 minutes in a half and stuff. Like got hooked twice and all kinds of
don't even start with me on Pirtle's minutes. So the Raptors played the Wizards back to back. The first of the back to back against the Wizards, Pirtle was so underused. I was let's just say I was angry. I was very angry.
Yeah, he played 11 minutes in the first half and then 22 minutes in the second half.
Yes, and in the first half, in the second quarter, is where the Raptors lost the game because they got destroyed in the second quarter when he was off the court. He didn't go back in. Yes,
and then I saw like this. Okay, so he played him 22 in the second half. Okay, he learned from his mistakes, and then I bet him the next game and he played 23 minutes.
yeah. Nick Nurse is tough. Nick Nurse is a tough man to figure out. I do remember one bet, though, that you talk about some bad loss in the Raptors. I remember one bet on the show was LaMelo Ball over assists and Trent over points. And Trent got fouled twice late in the game on they were fouling to get the ball back, the Hornets. And he hit his free throws to go over. And then the last play of the game, when it was already gone, LaMelo Ball threw an inside pass to a wide open Plumlee, who laid it in, and that was LaMelo's final assist. I remember that one. Another crazy stat. This is the last one that we have before we'll talk about the Suns and Mavericks. Bets with the 76ers involved are 10-3. This includes last week's loss with the Jimmy Butler on the points, where he was one bucket away and was benched for the entire fourth quarter. But 10-3, what would you say has been part of your success in betting on the Sixers this season?
James Harden and Embiid, like singing parlays with assists and points. Some games like clearly on Embiid, and some games Embiid zone drop coverage, mid pull-up shooters, like specific betting on specific matchups in those games. Like, it's so easy, like to fit a guy that will do well and the guy that won't do well against the 76ers the way they defended. And also on the other side, when the teams are playing drop coverage and allowing pick and roll through the middle, it's easy to get James Harden pocket pass to Embiid for 30 points and 8 assists. So he had a great success with it.
And more Sixers bets today, I guess, because I guess Hield is going against him. Does that count as a Sixers bet?
Yeah, that counts as a Sixers bet, and that counts as our Hield bets.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
So two good ones being put to the test here.
Yeah, we have winning combination here, and I'll say like one thing that I usually don't like to bet, for me privately, is Los Angeles Clippers. I think I'll bet the least number of games on
I hate them as well. Yeah.
But the interesting part of it, I just checked, and I am 14-1 with Clippers betting.
Wow! So you don't like betting, but when you do like the Clippers, you really like the Clippers. That's what it sounds like.
So it's interesting, but like I completely try to avoid betting on the Clippers game, and the lowest amount to bet is included with Sixers bet, with Clippers bet. And I'm 14-1, so maybe I need to up the volume there.
Maybe. One thing about I find sports bettors, like because you said 10-3 on the picks with the Sixers. Buddy Hield is 6-0 on his same game parlay. His half the same parlay. Never been a straight bet on Buddy Hield. I checked. I feel like some bettors would see that and think like, oh man, like we're jinxing ourselves. We're due a loss here. But if it was like a bad record, you'd be saying the same thing. I feel like sports bettors are always looking for the excuse to like not like something to think, oh, this is gonna lose. So you gotta like, if you like your spots and you're doing well with it, you gotta keep going back to it. That's the thing here. So hopefully we get that today with the Buddy Hield bet. Another thing we want to talk about before we go. Yesterday we had the Suns and the Mavericks face off, a very important game for the playoff standings and also a lot from a personal standpoint for a lot of these players. Durant playing against Kyrie Irving. Plus, you had these teams match up the playoffs last season. The Mavericks beat the Suns in Game 7 by 400 million points. So a lot riding on this game, and it delivered. Durant had 37. Booker had 36. On the Mavericks side, Donic had 34. Should have been 36, but Kyrie Irving also had 30. It came down to a Kevin Durant late mid-range jumper, which he hit. Tough shot. And then Donic got some separation on Okogie late and missed a shot he makes, like I would say 100 times out of 100 at the rim, but maybe we'll say 99 because he missed this one. And the Suns hit a couple free throws late to win by 4. How do you feel, or I guess this game overall, your initial thoughts on this game just by watching it? And let's just start with that, and I'll have some follow-up questions.
Probably one of the best games of the season. Very interesting game. Some people are saying like when you look at the score like 130 and 126, that's 250 points, almost 260 points. And people will say like, where is the defense? And the defense was, I think, above average in this game. I think they did quite well on defense, both teams, especially Dallas, with the way they are, how limited they are with good defensive players. I think they did quite good. But this is the NBA of 2023. The shot making ability is just out of the world. Like every time Booker and KD shot, it was 4 hands in the face, and they just keep getting the buckets. They didn't miss. Like the KD shot 12 from 17. That's 71%. Booker shot 15 from 25. That's 60%. They also had 17 free throws. Like that's unbelievable shot making. And when you look at the game, they didn't have any easy shot. Like maybe 2 field goals made out of these 27 were easy shots. Like, of course, a lot of the shots are easy for KD when he gets, but whenever he was shooting, it was like 2 or 3 guys trying to contest it, and he still made it over them. Like so effortless, so easy, such beauty of the motion. Like KD is like unbelievable. Like so, like the I just can't find the words to describe how great of a scorer he is and how beautiful it looks when he's on the hot streak. On the other side, we had a bit more problems as Doncic had terrible game. I'll say Doncic out of these 4 guys was the worst player on.
Yeah, let me just read his stat line for anybody who didn't see it. He was I have it up. He was 8 of 23 from the field, 1 of 9 from 3, and had the worst plus minus in the entire game of any player. Yeah, he struggled.
Yeah, he was poor. Just poor game. Like he didn't do anything like he don't usually do. He just missed.
But he had 34 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, he got his numbers.
Yeah, he got to the line and he made the free throws. Like he had said 19 free throws, made 17, probably the career high. Like with percentage on that high. Like he usually when he gets 19 free throws, he'll like score 30. So he was 70 for 90. But he missed every 3 points he took, like 1 from 9. He scored 1 early into the game and then missed 8 straight. And he was 8 for 33 overall. And they still, if he scores that layup late into the game, they still go to overtime. And that's my issue. That will translate to my biggest concerning issue with Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
Is there a lack of 3-point volume shooting?
Yeah, let me pull this up here. Okogie in this game, who starts with the main 4 guys there, was 0 of 8 from 3 in this one. And like plain and simple, They need him to hit threes. Fortunately, Ishmael Wainwright was 4 of 5 from 3 in his limited minutes. That probably saved the Suns here, but they're going to need a bit more out of Okogie. But yeah, continue. You're concerned with the Suns.
So before Wainwright made those threes, we had KD and Booker combined shooting 65% from the field, and they were losing by like 6-7 points. Yeah, and that's it. That's the thing I spoke about so many times about the Suns, is that they are the best in the thing that is worst in the league, and that's mid-range shooting. Like the least value is in the mid-range shooting, like layups, dunks, and threes and free throws. And fortunately, they got some free throws, and they got some threes from the Wainwright late into the game, and that's the reason they won. So yeah, I think so. Like their starters made 6 threes, and that's with like
KD had 3, Booker had 2. Sorry, Booker had 1. Chris Paul had 2. Yeah.
Yeah, the KD and Booker, like if you take a look at the percentage of 3, they are great, but the volume is not there. Like they are not like they're shooting 3 to 4, maybe 5 threes a game, and that's not enough. Like at one point, you had Dallas, you had Suns were like 6 from 25 from the 3, and on the other side, you had Dallas who made like 13 threes, and they were winning because the volume of the 3 points made. Like it was almost the similar, a bit higher percentage for Dallas, but the volume double number. So like I don't know if people understand the math behind it, but if you like shoot 100 shots and you make like 35 threes, you need to score over 50% from the mid range to match that. Like that's
way over.
Yeah, that's that's very difficult, and Booker and KD are able to do it, but that's only to match it, not to win. So
yeah,
and they also don't have the rim pressure. So
yeah, this is where volume comes in. Like efficiency is great. Sometimes volume is just as important as efficiency. Sometimes shooting more in those spots, even to take down your efficiency, but shooting more from 3 is better. You're better off taking more shots from there, even if it is less efficient for the reasons you outlined. And that's something they'll have to adjust to.
That's the numbers game that Dallas Mavericks are playing, and that's the way they almost won the game. They got to the free throw lines, they had dunks, and they had threes. And that's it. Like they made 15 threes and went 38 times to the line. Like that's how they scored so many points. And like if Doncic had a little bit better game, they will be winners here. And you can look at the KD and Booker having unbelievable games, and they still lost. And they won't have this kind of shooting every night. So it will be very interesting to see how will Phoenix Suns do moving forward against the tougher opponents.
Another point I wanted to bring up is Chris Paul in this game. Yeah. He had 11 points. He had 3 after 3 quarters, I think. He's been struggling on offense. What the Dallas Mavericks are doing a lot in this game was whoever was guarding Chris Paul doubled Booker or Kevin Durant off of him. So they left Chris Paul open. So I think if the Suns are going to win a championship here, and obviously he's a lot riding for Chris Paul, this is probably his best chance. This might be the best chance of his career to get a ring. He has to really step up his game because he's getting left open right now a lot. So he was 2 of 6 from 3. I think that's like a good amount for him to shoot, but he's definitely got to step up his offensive game a little bit more to contribute, because flat out he has to make sure there's a guy guarding him. Because if they're not guarding him, that's just extra pressure on KD, extra pressure on Booker that he's not relieving them of.
I think they need to make different rotations. Playing KD, Booker, Chris Paul, and Ayton, they play them together for first 8.5 minutes of the game.
Should be like
That's
4.
just
It should be like 4,
yeah,
honestly.
like yeah, that's just completely waste. And then second unit was like Booker alone. That's not the way this. So you need to play KD and Booker, and then go to the second unit with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton running the pick and roll. Like that's it. And like maybe not even that. Like, but you need to stagger Chris Paul out of the KD and Booker. Like he shouldn't be on the floor with them at all. Like the second half, Chris Paul he wasn't even playmaking at all. He was spot up shooter. Like you had
Yeah,
Chris Paul as a spot up shooter,
exactly.
who is not a great spot up shooter, and he was on the floor all the time, and he is like a liability in defense. So you don't get anything out of Chris Paul. You just get like poor player because you are not using him the right way. Like I think playing like anyone on that roster, like anyone instead of Chris Paul with size that can defend would be like better for Suns. I know someone will be confused. Chris Paul is an amazing player, but if you are going to like primary ball handler get the ball to Booker and KD and run Chris Paul as a spot up shooter, he is not suited for it, and he is just. And then you need, and then on the other side of the court, you need to hide him. Like that doesn't work at all. And I would say Aiton didn't touch the ball like for like 35 minutes in the game. Yeah, Booker is great. Shoot, KD is great, but so is DeAndre Ayton. You need to find a way to get him involved. As I know this sounds crazy, but DeAndre Ayton is better mid-range shooter than Booker. Like he's not like KD level, but DeAndre Ayton is like one top 5 mid-range shooters in like run pick
I
and roll
don't
with
know if
him.
I'm going that far, but
Yeah, I will go this season. Like just take a look at the numbers. Like I don't know if like of course he's not self-creating those mid-range, but he's shooting. If you take a look at short mid-range combined with mid-range, he's 47%. Like and volume
that's
is like huge,
yeah,
like
that is
almost
impressive.
half of his stats. Yeah, that's very impressive. And the thing is, he's not self-creating it though, so that's why he can go with all these guys who are just pull up shooting of the dribble, but there is easy way to get him involved. So many teams play drop coverage, and you just can play pick and roll and hit the Andre Ayton at the free throw line, and he'll get it done. Like, and
Interesting.
they didn't do it like once out of the like he had 6 points in the first 3 minutes of the game, and the next field goal was in like with 2 minutes left or 1 minute left, like at the end of the game. So
Yeah,
they need to find a way to get Ayton involved. They need to find a way to run Chris Paul as a primary playmaker, find the minutes for it, and they need to figure out who is the small forward for them. Like, is it Wainwright? Is it Torrey Craig? Is it Joshua Kogi? Like, they need to find. And I'll say probably for this season it's Torrey Craig. He's
me
shooting
too. Me
40%.
too.
He's shooting 40% from three. Like, and you now have KD for the size. It should work.
I agree. Even a question
I'll
like
say,
sometimes in
I,
really
I
bad games, like should Damian Lee come in a bit more than he did because he's shooting the three ball really well. I know that comes with a big sacrifice on defense, but when your team really needs 3-pointers, Damian Lee has been providing that this season. But to be fair to them, it's only been a few games, so they need to work these things out. But yeah, Aiden's got to be involved. Paul's got to be involved. Best way to do that is to play them a bit more together, maybe even with some bench lineups and kind of play Durant and Booker a bit more together. I know they always want to have KD or Booker on the court, and even Booker said this in press conference. One of them always has to be on the floor, but
yeah.
question marks if maybe you get a lot more out of Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, you get more relief for those guys if you have them both off the court at the same time. Very brief moments, but I like the insight into the Suns here. So some telling signs, a lot for them to work out, but at the end they do find a way to get the win in this one over the Mavericks in what could be a preview of the first round of the playoffs. And with that, we're going to recap the official bet of today's show. One bet from today going to Buddy Hield over 14.5 points, minus 115 at DraftKings. At the time of release, it was widely available. You could have got it DraftKings very quickly. It was still available at MGM, 365, Pinnacle. Since then, it has moved off quite a bit. So anybody coming in late, Pips, some people are asking for potential switches or for potential, could you take a different line? What would you play this to? Like, could you pair this with a 2+3s to lower the juice? Could you go for a 15.5? Because some books are going up to that. I will say Betway opened this at minus 110. So that might, that's gone. Never mind. Disregard that. But the pairing Buddy Hield with 3s or 15.5 line, is that something you would take interest in?
You saw I think the best way to go is use the same game parlay, 11.5 points with Tyrese Haliburton, 8+3s, 8+ assists. Sorry, guys, that should work. But yeah, we don't.
Bottom line, get to this show for the live. Get here live so you can get the pick right away.
Yeah. Get here like you get the picks in the first 5 minutes of the show. So like there is really no reason to not join the show. But I would say like going with his 30s over, I think it's minus 150. It's okay, but it's a bit juicy. And going with combination with Tyrese Haliburton assist is always work. No matter the line, we can just drop it to like 12.5, it's 6.5 for assist on Haliburton, or go 11.5 points combined with Haliburton. 8+ assists, that should work. Especially with Maxi playing, there will be plenty of more assist opportunity. There will be high scoring games. So yeah, I like it either way.
Okay, so Buddy Hield is the man for today. That's the guy to go with. If you guys enjoyed this show, make sure to drop a thumbs up. It does go a long way to supporting our channel. I want to thank, we got like 150 extra subs yesterday. Anybody new to the channel, we appreciate your support. Thank you so much for joining. We're curious where these subs came from, but we appreciative of that nonetheless. For more like that, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You can help us on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Help us on the road to that four-digit figure that we are looking for. And visit thehammer.bet for more sports betting content across any sport. Myself and Pips, we will be back here tomorrow. I'll be back in my normal studio tomorrow as well, back from my little trip here. And, I'm excited. Let's see how it goes. We'll see you tomorrow.